One, two, three, and we're live. Welcome everybody to the NFT Basement Show. I'm Project. I am the founder of NFTs, and my co-host. I'm passing the mic to my co-host.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Tuesday, May 10th. I'm Krystle. I'm the community manager of Blockchain Bullies NFT, guys. Thanks for being here. And we have a very, very special guest today. And who's it going to be? Project, take it away.
For our host today, we have Emojis. Emojis, pass the mic to you, brother. How are you doing today?
Hey man, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Hey, we appreciate you being here, brother. So, real quick, let's talk about Shemojis, and the name Shemojis. Like, how did you, where do you think of, how do you decide, okay, I'm gonna come up with this project, and where did the ideas come from?
This name.
Um,
What's the story behind Shemojis?
okay, so it's a little bit of a mix of different parts of kind of my life that kind of all came together. So I got exposed to the idea of NFTs back in, I think, May of 2021. And I had a buddy reach out and he said, hey, there's these freaking Bored Apes that are like selling for $3,000. And I happen to be a graphic designer. I do a bunch of graphic design on the side. And he's like, can you help me? We'll create our own. And I didn't get it. I had no clue about any of that. So I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can illustrate like that or whatever. And I kind of just, shoved it to the side. Anyways, fast forward to the middle of summer, I had heard about a kid. He was behind the Weird Whales project. I don't know if you've seen it. He was he got a few articles written about him, and he had done like these pixel whales, and he had sold out the whole collection that has like 3,000 plus weird whales, and he had made hella cash. And I was like, man, like I want to do something like that. And then I really like the pixel art idea. I like the idea of mushrooms, and I also happen to be a mental health advocate, and so it kind of like just all floated in my head. And then I was like, yeah, what if I had like I need to have some kind of mental health aspect for that, because it's really, a big part of who I am in real life and what I do. And so we kind of all coalesced together into this kind of final sum. And that's how the whole project came together. It was just the sum of, different things that I like that got put together.
Nice. And I'm going to bring up your project on a screen share right here, right now, so everybody can see what we're talking about. And we see that the floor price is 0.01 on the Polygon blockchain. And why was there a reason why you decided to go on Polygon?
Yeah, actually. So I had no idea how much it costs to mint things. I didn't know anything about, minting dApps or anything like that. And then I had like, 3,000, there's 3,690 Shemojis. So I did all the layers myself, and then I wrote the Python script to generate all of the art. And then I was like, okay, project's ready. And then I was like, how do I get this on OpenSea? And so I went and looked at some YouTube videos and looked for how to do the Solidity contract and mint it. Anyways, I was messing with the Solidity contract. It was, I was trying to put it through on Ethereum, and it was saying, the fees are going to be astronomical to, get all of these minted. I was like, man, I don't have that kind of cash, like, at all. So then I went and looked around, and I tried to figure out if I could do it on Polygon, because I had seen that OpenSea had just started the gas-free marketplace. So that was back in October of 2021. And so I was like, okay, well, they got, cheap fees. So I still tried to do the Solidity contract, but on Polygon, still didn't work. And so I ended up, getting pissed off. And I actually lazy minted the whole collection by hand. batches of 100 every night. It would take me an hour and a half per 100. I had it down to a science, both screens. On one side, I would have like the files and the metadata. And because I'm on a Mac, I can you can kind of preview the metadata in the kind of file explorer. So I had all the keystrokes figured out, and I could mint the Shremoji on in 53 seconds or something like that.
Oh man! And then with the rarities, filling in the rarities too. That's a lot of work, man.
It was insane, dude. It was completely ridiculous, and looking back, I should have paid somebody $300, to write the contract. But I'm kind of a stubborn guy, so at the end, I also tried to use the story as kind of a, like a talking piece. Hey, this guy minted 3,700 NFTs by hand, one by one, but it never got picked up. I tried sending it to a bunch of journalists, and it never got picked up. So, oh well. Anyways, yeah, I because it was free to mint. Sorry.
I kind of did the same. I did the same thing too with my project. I just started to upload one at a time, and the problem that I was running into was like, okay, I think I already placed this one in the market. Like, okay, I gotta go back and delete that one, and so it can get very really hard trying to keep up with making sure that you didn't post it twice. And so my next question would be, what is your message? Because I see going back to your Twitter page right here. Okay, let me just bring it up. You're here raising $20,000 for maps to fund research into psychedelics treatments for depression and PTSD. Do you want to talk to us more about why you chose that foundation?
Yeah. So definitely, as part of kind of mashing everything together, I was aware. So I had someone in my life that had treatment-resistant depression, and I'm in Canada, and probably in 2020 or 2019, I was made aware of ketamine infusions as being effective to basically take depression away. And effectively, it's able to take suicidal ideation away in 24 hours. And kind of a treatment program for ketamine is six sessions of 2 hours in 1 month, and then you're cured for 6 months and and then so that person that was very important to me was, struggling with, as I said, major depressive disorder and treatment-resistant depression, and none of the medications that they were trying was working for them. And I was, sad that it was just kind of in trials, that couldn't get access to it. And I'm in Canada, and you can't get access to it. And they ended up kind of coming up with something in the States that's called esketamine, but it's not as effective as the actual ketamine infusions. Anyways, long story short, I really got into it because of that, because I, being a mental health advocate, I'm keenly aware that therapy can only go so far. When you have very serious depression, psychotherapy is not enough. And you need, there needs to be treatments, and the current crop of treatments, as far as I'm concerned, is, it's the best that we have. That's legal, but it seems like some of these drugs that are considered recreational at this time are actually very, very promising. So with that, and having this in the back of my mind, and then coming up with this project, the whole mushrooms thing, and psychedelics and treatment and all that stuff. I landed on maps at some point in my journey, looking into these treatments, and they're not focused. They actually right now they're not doing any studies on mushrooms, but they do. They're studying LSD, MDMA for treating PTSD, ayahuasca, and a few other compounds. And their mission has been, but like if you follow their Twitter, also they repost a lot of stuff about psilocybin, which is the active compound in magic mushrooms, and basically anything that's got to do with psychedelics and treating mental illness is in their realm, and they'll support it. So it felt like it really aligned with what I was trying to do here. That's why I chose that organization.
It's nice. I have a question for you. Well, first, I want to just say what an amazing man you are, because that's like, whoa, you know, what you just said. Second, I wanted to know the special someone that you're speaking about. You know, have they been able to find the correct help out there that they've been looking for, and has this do you like use that story when you talk about your project? Because I think it's like super, super powerful.
No, they haven't. So we don't have access to this stuff here in Canada. So Canada tends to I don't want to say it tends to lag behind, because really we kind of nationally legalized marijuana, I think before the States did. So, but you know, we tend to trail behind on a lot of stuff, and the States seems to be a little bit more at the tip of the spear when it comes to that. So no, they haven't. They haven't got the relief, and they haven't been able to get treated by anything like that. And you know, that's one thing that I make damn sure that I talk about when I'm pitching this project is I'm not, like, I don't judge, but I'm not promoting recreational drug use here. I'm really talking about getting these psychedelics as more tools and toolboxes of doctors. And what I would hope for is that they, you know, provided that all the studies keep lining up and keep showing much better results than traditional antidepressants, I would hope that it becomes the first line of defense for doctors instead of antidepressants. So
it's like that too out here with cannabis. It's like they say that it's legal, but then it's really, really not, you know? So there's like so many things that come into play with those things. But just real quick, kudos to you, by the way. And real quick, getting back to the actual NFT, what is the price of your NFT?
So it's 0.01 ETH. And right now, for whenever you guys, whoever is watching, the audience, as you said earlier, we're May 10th, and the market has crashed. So about $22 at today's price. At some point, it was $40, $35. Well, 0.01 ETH on Polygon.
0.01 ETH.
Nice.
And then my other question is, when investing in Emojis, do your holders get full copyrights?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't care as long as somebody's holding it. If they want to use it on their stuff, I haven't formalized any policy. I don't see why they couldn't. I'm honestly, I literally haven't thought about that part. I've been very mission focused. You know, my dream for this collection is that, you know, rocking a Shremoji profile picture becomes synonymous with supporting psychedelic research. So, you know, that's kind of the, you know, I kind of want to become the Kleenex of the, you know, the tissue world. I don't know how to say it other than that.
That's nice.
You know, Shremoji, I was actually just watching a podcast with Mike Tyson, and he talks about like the ayahuasca and how that helped him with his drug abuse. You know, he had a drug and alcohol addiction. That he said he took it once, he's never been the same ever since, and he sees the world and his perspective, everything has changed, and now he's more like he takes care of his body. And you know, I think you know, like there should be, you know, doctors and you know, in that field, they should really be looking into this stuff, you know, because they look at this stuff like as if it's some kind of like, you know, bad thing, and you know, it's gonna destroy mankind, you know, something terrible like that. But it's really, you know, it's treatment, you know, it's natural, it grows from, you know, it grows from the earth where we live in. So I think
We could go on for days about all the things that the government would rather give us rather than giving us like natural herbs.
yeah,
It's like ridiculous,
yeah,
just me myself, like just suffering with migraines. Like I can't tell you guys how many times I've been to doctors and specialists and have gotten like MRIs, and every single doctor I've seen has just thrown something new at me. It's like, take this, try this, how about this, take this. Don't know nothing about me, don't ask about my background story, just throw stuff at you, which is the reason why I kind of steered towards medical cannabis. But even then, it's like there's times where it's like you're struggling so bad, and you do the medical cannabis, and it makes it worse because the anxiety comes out, and then you feel like you're almost like worse than what you were before. So I've been hearing a lot of good things about shrooms, just a lot about mushrooms, and about microdosing and all the benefits that come into play with that. So I think that what you're doing and in this space, as far as like in the Web3 space, is a beautiful thing, because there's not a lot of people doing it. And I've heard you pitch, and I've heard you talk, and I've been in many spaces with you, and you bring that power. There's like a power about you that when you speak, people just listen, and when you speak about these like psychedelics and things, which by the way, you're the first person I heard speak about this, which is, I told my husband, and we are very much eager to know more about the microdosing. I've been asking a lot of questions, and it's all because of, like, thanks to you. So thank you very much for shining light on that. And I do have a more personal question though. What is something that your holders and your community in the Web3 space would not know about you? Like, tell us something that nobody knows.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm a very open book. I'm very, what you see is what you get. I don't really hide any parts of my life. If you've heard me pitch, I talk about kind of a troubled past that I had. I'm a very, very open person. There's nothing, honestly, and I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing that really comes to mind. I guess I play guitar right there.
Oh, yes, that's nice.
Yeah, I play guitar, and I like playing it super technical, heavy metal.
Nice.
But also listen to rap and techno music and all that. Also, I like cooking. I love cooking. During COVID, I started cooking, and I got a little bit of I had a little bit of a cooking channel thing going on Instagram. If you guys want to go check it out, it's at Kitchen Zaddy. I haven't posted anything on there for a while, but I would do I saved a bunch of the stories, and I would just show people how to cook. A lot of it was Italian food, like how to do like proper traditional Italian food. But yeah, I'd say that's probably two of the main things, like two of the hobbies that I have that maybe people wouldn't know about, although I don't have much time to spend on them right now. But yeah.
Nice. So I'm going to challenge you to do something with your community. I'm going to make a post, and I'm going to say, whoever watched this today's podcast, tell me something about Shrimojis that you learned, and whoever gets it correct, I'm going to give them some type of prize. How does that sound?
Yeah.
And will A, get your community more involved, and B, get people more excited about getting to know you. And so if you're okay with that, I would love to do that. Second, you're saying you're a cook, and we just started a cooking channel in our server where we do Taco Tuesdays. And, I have people from all around the world in our community, and it's a beautiful thing, right? So yesterday we did our first Taco Tuesday, and we streamed it, and one person was cooking live. Well, actually 2 people were cooking live. So they were live streaming it in our community hangout. It was very cool. And we came up with this brilliant idea where we would invite people in the community to cook a special dish, right, on our live stream. So if you, God willing, if it would be something that you're interested in doing, we would love to have you and love to bring you in and and maybe you can cook a special delicacy for the blockchain bullies community.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we would love that.
What kind of tacos did they make?
They made some ground beef tacos, another one made steak tacos, and then there was vegetarian tacos also. So there was a little bit of everything.
I actually make the birria tacos, the ones that you can.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love those.
I got the
Honestly,
dried peppers in my pantry right now. I'm just waiting for the right
oh,
time
delicious.
to go over. I
I
could
think
do
I enjoy the jugo inside that birria more than I enjoy the
Oh,
birria.
yes.
You enjoy what? Sorry.
The
juice.
jugo is like the juice of the birria. When you cook it, it gets very juicy. And so in Mexico, we love to just dip our quesadillas in the jugo from that meat, you know?
I thought that you guys called it consomme.
Yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
called consume.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, I'm Mexican. Everything, if I see something watery, it's jugo. You know, everything that has some type of water or juice is like jugo to me, and everything that's like meat is pollo. Like I call everything chicken. You know, even if it's like steak. So it's just yeah. But you know, I have another question for you. Where did it go? My other question for you is, how long have you been in the Web3 space altogether? Like, have you been in the space for a couple of years, or like what got you in this space? Like for me, it was crypto, you know, but what about for you?
No, this NFT project is how I got into it. So effectively, you know, like if you don't count the time it took me to build it, because I didn't plan this out, you know, very well, and I'm now, you know, instead of doing the proper like build the hype, build a community, all of that, I'm just basically hustling JPEGs one by one, you know. And so I actually, I made the account, like I reserved all the names for the project way back in October, but I finished minting everything on January 26th, and then I did a little bit of cleanup because, you know, as I said, everything was entered by hand, so I tried to make sure that, you know, kind of most everything lined up. And then I started in February, basically probably February 1st is when I started hanging out on Twitter, because I figured, you know, people were saying Twitter is where it's happening. So I started hanging out on Twitter, and for 2 weeks, I just, you know, wasted a bunch of time, you know, answering the posts that are like, post your NFT I'm buying today, you know, kind of the engagement farming posts that never go anywhere and nobody buys anything ever. And then mid-February is when I found my first Twitter space. It was actually the Skirpy space. Shout out Timmy, shout out Skirpy. So I found the Skirpy space, and I think the first time I went up, I made a sale, and then
cool.
from there,
Yeah.
And in case, I'm sorry, Crystal, but in case anybody's wondering how we met Shrimojis, was actually on Twitter Space. Shrimojis is actually one of the, like, he co-hosts for the biggest Twitter Spaces for NFTs, and that's how we got to know Shrimojis. And he's a huge supporter of NFT creators, and he gives up so much of his time to help others. Retweet, share, smash that retweet button. Yes, sir.
Smash that retweet button.
Let's go. Hey, is that a Shremoji?
Yeah. That's my catchphrase. I actually became a meme simply because I'm actually originally French Canadian, so I say some words weird, and so button. I apparently I emphasize the T's, or I don't know. I emphasize some part of it that doesn't sound right in English, so then they started making fun of me for telling people smash the retweet button, and then I became a meme that way. But yeah,
that's a cool shirt.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's an awesome shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being so supportive, and thank you for giving, you know, so many founders and developers and artists and, you know, just the team a platform. Which brings me to this: are you a one-man team, Shroom? Because you do all this by yourself. You're the artist, the developer, the the marketing director, the community manager. You're the man.
Yeah, I'm a one-man show. So I'm kind of an odd character, which my background's in computing science. I started programming when I was like 9 years old. I was on Windows 3.1 kind of thing, and I never really got into games. I was kind of nerdy, but I hung out with a cool kid. I was also a skateboarder, but like I had access to computers, so like I've always been kind of an odd cat, I would say, and always been kind of artistic too. So I used to draw tons when I was young. I'm not that great of an artist by any stretch of the imagination. I'm okay. I do a lot of in my real life job. I'm in marketing, so I do a lot of branding, brand identity, but it's mostly for like business to business type of companies, like corporations, kind of more. I don't want to say boring. That's kind of boring, logo work, websites that are very corporate and very, it's not super creative. But so I do have like a kind of a basic understanding of graphic design, and haven't done it over the years. But so yeah, everything is done by me. I'm the kind of guy that's, which becomes actually a bad thing, but I'm the kind of guy that like, I'll just figure it out. Like whatever, except solidity contracts apparently. But, but I'm the kind of guy that typically I'll just figure it out. Like if I take something apart, I can put it back together. And if I'm interested in something, like I'll dive right in and I'll figure it out. So which becomes difficult because I tend to get in the weeds a lot, and being a one-man show can become very overwhelming and stressful. I get hella people reaching out to do collabs all the time, and I'm like, no, like I'm full. I can't. Like, leave me alone. And it's not that I don't want to do collabs with people. I'm just like, I'm basically overwhelmed by life. Constantly just my co-hosting duties and my promoting duties for the Emojis project is pretty much all I can manage. And I'm I think one of the things I figured out over time is you don't want to spread yourself too thin. You want to be very focused on what you do and stick with it. I had a tendency when I was younger to kind of jump from project to project. Ooh, some shiny, some shiny over here, and then I would, I probably the registries here in Canada, they would see me once a month to incorporate a new company. I'm just one of those guys that's super ADD and just jumps from project to project. And with this one, I was like, no, I'm sticking to it and I'm staying the course, and it's been paying off.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. How does your family feel about this? Like, I know that when I got into the NFT space, like my mom was like, she knows nothing. It's like trying to explain this to her is like, it's extremely hard, right? So I always ask, like, how does your family think? Like, your parents or your, kids or your wife, I don't know, your backstory, but with me, and I know for a lot of people in the space, like project founders, it's really hard to explain what it is that we do, so it's like the best way for me to explain it, because we breed dogs, we show dogs. So now when I like tell my grandma, I'm like, grandma, we're doing the same thing. I'm selling dogs. All right. That's what I do, because our PFP is a dog. It's like, that's the easiest way to explain it to her. However, how do you explain the Web3 NFT space to someone, in your family or someone that has no idea like what it is that you're doing,
I don't. I don't put myself through that.
Yeah, it's like you just don't even waste your time, right?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. So my dad passed away in 2015. My mom is still around, but even my mom is 72 now. And technology for her is already extremely difficult. I don't even bring this up because it wouldn't end trying to explain that, so
that's how I am. I'm just like, it's not
I don't put myself through that. When people, I don't really tell that many people in real life about it, simply because I don't know, I just I don't want to have to go through the pain of explaining that it's more than just JPEGs, that there's utility and people are buying into more than just a picture on a computer, although the medium is typically a picture to represent the rest of the project. So My kids, my son actually loves the smash that retweet button thing. He was drawing, and he would come bring his drawings like, Dad, check out my NFT. And he's 6, you know, so he thought that by drawing on a piece of paper, he was making NFTs. And then my daughter, she's 11, and she always inquires, how many have you sold? How's it going? And so she's very interested in that. So I don't know that she understands, you know, like the concept that well, but yeah, I mean, I really don't have these conversations that much. I don't know that I have the patience to go and, you know,
Into detail.
try to explain to people what this is. You know, when they see how big it becomes and it's passing them by, then I'm sure that they're gonna reach out and be like, hey, so what's the NFT thing? Like, I don't get them, you know. But until then, I'm not going there. I'll stay within the communities that get it already.
Yeah.
And
you know what, Shimoji, we're the same way. Like I don't tell nobody because of the same reason. You know, it's like if it's something that they're not gonna understand. You know, it's something that we picked up. I picked this up because I was already into cryptocurrency and I just had a thing for crypto. So when I heard of NFTs, you get paid in crypto. For me, it was like, oh, it's a win-win, you know. But for other people, they don't even know what Bitcoin is. You know, all they know is internet money. But you know, it's a long process, and yeah, I like to keep it to myself. But also, I do join the NFT community and share with others, like on Twitter. And my question for you, Shimoji, is since like you've spoken to thousands and thousands of NFT creators, and you got to know a lot of them very well. My question for you would be, what advice do you have for someone that is just getting into the NFT community, wanting to start their own NFT project?
Ooh, spend 30 to 50 hours studying and figuring out what makes projects work. You know, make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into, because I feel like there's kind of 2 types of projects that I'm really picking up out there. You got the artists that are doing one-of-ones, where, you know, there's not that much utility. You're buying into the art, you're collecting art, and it's just kind of an online medium to do so. And then you got the big, you know, PFP projects, or, you know, like the large collections of thousands and thousands of NFTs. In those, if you're trying to get into something like that, definitely go check out how it's done first, before you just kind of start doing stuff and breaking things, because you're going to avoid yourself a lot of hurt and pain.
Yeah,
that's great advice.
Nice.
I wish someone told me that advice when we got started. No.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find yourself a mentor, somebody that's already done, you know, a big project or has been involved in big projects, 100% do it, because, you know, like even like studying this stuff can get pretty tedious. So, you know, if you can get a mentor, you will definitely shortcut yourself to where you need to be. That doesn't mean you're going to have a successful project, but knowing how those projects are built to be successful is I think very important.
Yeah, I agree.
And Shimoji's, how has your journey been since you started with your collection? How has your like your way of your knowledge, your skills, your way of what an NFT is, how has that changed since now?
I definitely, so I kind of just dove in, you know, as I said, like I didn't know, I made a collection, and then I was just like, okay, now I need to sell it.
Yeah.
And so definitely a lot of the slang and the terms I didn't get. You know, people talking about DAOs and, you know, wag me and all this stuff. I was like, what the hell are these people going on about? So definitely learned a lot about the community in the space.
Yep.
yeah, but other than that, I have like a sales and marketing background, so a lot of it seems to replicate within this space. So on that front, I don't feel like I've learned that much. I've kind of noticed some patterns that seem to work in the community, but apart from that, yeah, I wouldn't say that I've learned that much. It was more around like the lingo and the slang, and especially like dealing with cryptocurrency. Like I like bridging, currency over and all that kind of stuff. That was very foreign to me. So I had to kind of learn fast. Yeah.
And you said you had a sales background, and what people don't like think about that is that it's not just art that you're doing, and show and sending it out to the world, to the NFT world, for everybody to see. It's actually, that's only like maybe 20% of the work. 80% of the work is actually selling your project, and that's what I think most people need to realize, that it's actually 80% marketing and 20% art. And what is it you're doing? Because is a project is not going to sell itself, and that's something that for listeners that are listening and are just getting into NFTs should take in count, that you have to put in the hours and hop on these Twitter Spaces and present your work,
build relationships,
build a community. And how has are you community driven and with your project?
What do you mean by community driven?
Like, are you active and in the Discord and with your with everyone that purchases your NFTs? Or is there like a place where you guys chat?
Yeah, so there is a Discord. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have it because I have to have it. It's there. I create some channels so people could go and chill and do whatever. But to be honest with you, it's not my main focus. I'm very, as I said earlier, I am very focused on my goal of raising that money. And I have almost like, blinders on, where like I got the foundation that I need set up, for the project to be working, but very, 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 very focused on raising the money. So for me, that means co-hosting. So I, get my name out there more, and promoting the actual project itself and shilling or sharing spaces or whatever you want to call it. And these are basically revenue generating activities, and these are the activities that create the most momentum for me in my project. So as I said, I have a goal of wanting to make Emojis kind of equivalent with being a supporter of psychedelic research, and having that money goal just keeps me very, very focused. So the community, definitely everybody, most of my community is on Twitter. People reach out to me on Twitter all the time. It gets quite overwhelming in the DMs often, but I do try to answer everybody as much as possible. I do engage with all of my holders, but if you want to ask what the utility of the project is, I'm the utility. I am building the awareness for psychedelic treatment for depression and PTSD is the utility, and the charity aspect of basically I'm giving 50% of proceeds away to MAPS is the utility. It's all very, very focused on building awareness and raising money to build more awareness, and that's what it is.
And also, I want to add to that is also your time that you give to the community. That's the utility as well, because you're constantly helping out other projects, and you're constantly available on you're on Twitter, and that right there is considered to me as a utility as well. Now,
absolutely, as much as I can, when I'm co-hosting spaces or hosting spaces, I try to share my marketing and sales expertise with people, because a lot of people are kind of just shooting in the dark, and they don't understand what makes something sell or allows it to sell more. So definitely sharing with my expertise with the community is my way of giving back as much as possible, and facilitating the sale of projects through co-hosting and shilling and sharing spaces.
Nice.
Now,
Nice.
will
Well,
that give you
Shromoji's-
though, Shroom, will that give you room to have another project for, let's say like this is your phase 1. Do you plan on doing like something like a phase 2 or a second release or a second collection at all?
There, definitely. Right now, so there's a couple things. There's a couple of ways that I can go with the second collections, and adding a little bit more utility that's more focused on some metaverse utility that I don't want to announce it and then get bombarded or anything. But to be very frank with you, at this time, that it's not in the cards anytime soon. Right now, the focus is on raising that money. Once I hit that goal with that money, I'm probably going to look at doing a second collection. And the second collection, the reality, as I explained it, is it's going to be probably very similar. It's just there's a lot of emojis that I haven't done yet. So we'll look at the various faces that are part of the collection. There's way more that are available. There's way more emotions that are available. So, the next collection might be very similar in that sense. It's just going to be different. You don't have the cry laughing one right now. There isn't the. There's a bunch that are popular and are not part of the available faces in there. So, so that's probably what it's going to look like, and it's going to stay focused on raising more money to get this stuff in front of people.
Yeah. Well, I like
Nice.
that you're so transparent about it. I love that. I guess my last question for you would be, where do you see yourself in the Web3 space? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Doing this project, hopefully full time. I'd love to be doing this stuff full time. Hosting spaces. If there's a way to start monetizing that beyond just getting recognition for your own projects. I don't know if I'd want to be. Maybe I could be doing some consulting too for other projects, to help them with marketing and sales. But I'm very. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm very, very focused on my cause, and in real life, I am an actual mental health advocate. And so this stuff is very, very dear to me, and it's very much what I'm focused on, and Web3 seems to be a good vehicle for it.
Nice. Well, thanks so much for being here, Emojis.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to leave us with? Is there anything that you would like for your holders to know, your community to know, the Twitter fans to know? And I'm calling them fans because that's what we are. And so, is there anything that you would want us to know? Like, some last words for the community, Shromoji lovers.
We're all gonna make it.
There we go. Wag
And
me,
retweet
baby.
the t-shirt. Retweet
Yeah,
that button.
let's do the shirt again.
Yeah.
Yeah, smash that retweet.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Don't be
Smash
scared
that
to
retweet.
retweet.
What? Button.
Smash that retweet button.
There you go.
Shromoji-
You say it a lot better
Shromoji.
than I do.
So I do have one last question for you before we go. I see that you have a library there behind you. I want to know, what book would you recommend to somebody that you have read?
It's not in there. I landed it. I lended it to somebody, but Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.
Never
It's
slip.
a book on
I'm writing it
negotiation.
down.
It's a book on negotiations, but it's more than that. It's really a book on. It's basically emotional intelligence on steroids. I would, if I had one book to recommend to everybody in the world to read, it's that book, and apply it.
Okay, can you repeat it again? Never slip.
Never split the difference.
Oh, never
And so,
split the difference. Okay.
yeah, by Chris Voss, Voss. And
Mhm.
so he is a former lead international hostage negotiator for the FBI, and they developed, basically the reason it's called Never Split the Difference is they say, they got to get everything they ask for. They can't just say, hey, give us 2 hostages, keep 2, and we'll call it good. They have to get everything that they need out of the deal. And so they've developed this system of approaching people called tactical empathy. So it's got nothing to do with the kind of negotiations that you learn at Harvard or anything like that. And it's absolutely brilliant because you can use it everywhere in life and it's not to manipulate people, but it's simply a way to approach people and get what you want without creating a conflict, or what I mean. So it's
Yes.
very brilliant. It's as I said, it's emotional intelligence on steroids. It's brilliant.
Nice, perfect. Well, okay. Thank you, Emojis, for your time and for being a guest here at in the NFT Basement show. Yeah, thank you.
We really want to thank
Krystle.
you. We thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We do know that time is super valuable. As we all know, we're extremely busy. I too am a founder. Project's a founder. You are a founder. So it's super vital to let you know how appreciative we are of you being here and taking that time away from your project, from your family, to sit with us for an hour and just vibe out. So we really appreciate it. We hope that you enjoyed your time here with us. We hope that you want to come back here again soon also.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that we would absolutely love to have you as one of our special co-hosts one day.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely down. Reach out anytime. This was super fun, and I can't wait to be able to share it with the community.
Nice. So thanks so much. Nothing but love and light coming your way. We really, really appreciate you. And I'm wishing you nothing but the very best of success in the Web3 space.
Same to you, and same to you, brother.
Doing your thing, King.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Bye. And we're out.
Cheers.